hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves.
Good morning.
Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning
There's nobody in here. I'm the first one to join. Whoop, whoop. I'm up early. And let's see. Oh, why are you doing that? Sign out. Let's see if this shit works. Okay, we've got that one. We've got that one. Let's see. And then if I sign back in, starts to pound in my ears. Morning, Josh. Morning, Wendy. Morning, Chris. Let's see. Yeah. And fuck. Okay. We'll just show that. Hopes and fears. And then Robin Hood. And then Weeble. And then the newsletter, which I need to redo the homepage for. Okay. Let's put these over here. I'm just getting set up. Hopes and fears. Don't miss a single show. Morning, Luke. Morning, Rusty. I'm gonna turn on my Do Not Disturb too. Hit the thumbs up button. Okay. Let's go to scene. I think it'll work. Yeah. I think I'm working. There we go. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about today. I do know, but kudos to all the paid newsletter subscribers that took the docu. Ironically, the algorithm got you out. I mean, it was crazy that the algorithm got you out, but it did. I mean, you know, it's not perfect, and it kind of fluttered around here. But God, I mean, up 10%. It's been up like 14, 15% in pre-market. We can show. I think it started to sell off a little bit. Not really. A little bit. I mean, it's just choppy. Pre-market on this particular name's choppy as hell. But you can see it's resetting up there for an open around 82. It'll be interesting to see if that one pops back. But kudos to anybody that took that trade. I did not. I think I have $100 in this name. But what's interesting to me is the performance chart of the 4-hour algorithm makes you 82% versus buy and hold to 16%. And that's a good track record. I mean, shit, that's a good track record. So, it's interesting. What does a algorithm like the 65-minute make you? I'm trying to see if my screen looks okay. Let's see. It looks funky on my let me see if I move this. There we go. We're moving the screen a little just to get a little bit more real estate on there. I think it looks okay. Good morning to Demanios. I didn't want to mispronounce your name. It looks okay. Screen looks okay. Yeah. Docu, this one, the 65-minute doesn't work all that well, but yeah, I mean, it's just a ton of green. Pepsi and Coke are the only ones in the core portfolio that are down, and those are the only ones that were up. So, in fact, we can look at yesterday. Screener. We'll go to the S&P, and we'll just do change. Boom. The worst performer, Adobe, SMCI, Texas Pacific Land Corporation, Live Nation, which is interesting because this one, Live Nation seems LYV. I mean, this one just seems you're heading into the summer season. I mean, it's run up a ton, and the 4-hour algorithm helps you on this one because it just got you out. That drop right there is just crazy, but I mean, it's extended on the weekly, but you're at your 50-day, and the RSI is at 40 on a weekly. Let's see what it is on a daily. I mean, this one on a daily is 21. Let's see. Yeah, it's expensive, but that's what you get with best in breed. It's been a hold. It was a buy up here. Oh, God, it was a buy at 149. It's at 115. Wall Street, 22 analysts, they think it's 165. I mean, the problem is going to be if the consumer's weak. This is just, I mean, this is target number one. Morning, Travis. So I think that's interesting, though. But again, you kind of look at the biggest losers. We'll go back to the thing, and then let's look at the biggest winners. I mean, Intel up 14%, Dollar General, Dollar Tree. People going for discounts. Again, the consumer. One that I personally own, NEM, was a big winner, up 4.63% because gold. Zimmer, Northrop Grumman, CBOE. Which, ironically, CBOE, when you go over here, that was one of the big winners. It's CBRE. This is one of the top stocks, by the way. Top 30 stocks from Goldman Sachs. So, I'll have that one in there. Yeah, Ray. I mean, that's... The title of this one is, what's it going to take? It takes more than one day. You look at the Qs. This is, I think it's one of the fastest 10% drawdowns in history. And we talked about this daily, it being right in that realm and how you wanted to buy on the bottom part. And that was 516. You're at 474 today. So, but this is QQQ. I mean, it never, I mean, 2022 is probably the best look at this. If you just look at 2022 here, you had rallies and they were fairly decent rallies, but the only one that was actually sustained was March here. And that just failed off. It was March 14th to March 31st. And I have a feeling, by the way, that we're going to see the same kind of thing because I think it's tariffs. I mean, this is 100% tariffs. And so if he comes out and says, yeah, we've reached a trade deal, I mean, it's unnecessary. And that's what really ticks me off is it's absolutely unnecessary. But I'll wait for the rant. What's interesting is the 4-hour algorithm. It never got you back in the rally. In any of these rallies on QQQ, it just hasn't gotten you back in. And it's just so oversold right now. But it doesn't mean that you can't go down. So, okay, let's go over. We're going to go over gold versus gold versus Bitcoin. Which one's better? We'll look at that one because Bitcoin has pulled back a lot. We will look at the top 10% top decliners from yesterday because are there opportunities? We're going to look at the top 30 stocks from Morgan Stanley. They say these are buy and hold. Strategies matter. And this is one when volatility spikes and emotions are high, let the data guide you. The backtest spike when RSI hits 30 on the daily and holds for 21-day candles. Let's see if we can build that live on air. Show you how I'm decent at Trendspider. I'm not fantastic. I will tell you a story about Apple AirPods because they are amazing. This was an amazing video. Life is a journey, highs and lows. This was just a reminder from my buddy Steve. Because here's the thing. Remember, if you have like a $50,000 account, 10% hurts. $5,000 hurts. If you have $5 million in the bank, that's $500,000. So, and it's not like, again, if you're just VOO, you can take a look at that. But, and this is what I was talking about, Ray. Are we spoiled? I mean, are we just spoiled? Coming into 2025, the S&P 500 had just 2 down years out of the past 15. Out of the past 15, we got out of the financial crisis, and we'd have 15 years of fantastic gains. So, and the U.S. is the only one losing because Asia Pacific, everything else, I mean, it's soaring. Tesla is an interesting story. I didn't wind up taking my buy yesterday. I'll kind of go into that. But they sent an unsigned letter opposing trade and tariffs. So Elon didn't even sign it. Homage to the GOAT. I mean, they sold their SPY and VOO, and it's down 10% since then. So, and we'll start off with just a little kudos to me, and let's go to the newsletter because let's see, which one was it? Was it this one? Oh, I don't want to play that. That was yesterday's. Oh, that was yesterday's. There we go. The stock I like this week. We'll start off with that. So, we're going to look at the 4-hour algorithm with the Qs. And I'll tell you, the first line of defense is at 448. I mean, I still think that we've got a ways down, but yeah, it's yesterday was clear. It was tariffs because the market, when you look at a 5-minute candle, it is clear. We were rallying. And then all of a sudden, Trump decided, you know what? I'm pretty pissed. I'm going to tweet. So, and it's unnecessary. It's totally unnecessary. And the market is just, playing off of fear and greed. So, okay, hit the thumbs up button. Wah, 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 wah. I'm hurting a little bit. I got to do my taxes today, so I got to get started. Okay. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Shout out to anybody that actually works a 9-to-5 job because my job will continue through the weekend. I closed on a real estate deal yesterday. Like I said, I've been just super, super busy. I still have to do my taxes. I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be next week. I'm going to try and do 5 days. I did 5 days this week. I didn't do an additional daily paid newsletter, but I'm working on one that is turning AI into your financial advisor. So I'm working on that one. It's good, but we're going to go over a lot. We're going to go over why I recommended DocuSign Last week, this week on Monday, I said the stock I like this week for earnings is DocuSign. We'll go over that. We will go over Trump did it again. We'll go over that. Tesla sent an unsigned letter complaining about taxes. Elon didn't even have the balls to sign that one. Every place other than the U.S., China's flying. Asia is flying. The stock market returns over the last 20 years. We'll go over that. I think it's 15 years. The biggest movers of the day, we'll look at that one as well. And a couple of charts, specifically Apple, I'll go over. I love what they're talking about with Apple AirPods, but there's been a narrative of Apple, and it mirrors exactly what was happening last year. So we're going to look at the chart. We're going to look at the storylines. We're going to look at the market sentiment, and we're going to go over a strategy. I'm going to try and build a strategy in Trendspider for you live here so you can see what happens. The 30 stocks from Morgan Stanley that they say are buy and hold. We'll go over that. The top 10 decliners from yesterday. Is there anything that's worth it? Found one maybe. And we'll look at Bitcoin versus gold. So there's your show. Thank you. Good night. No. QQQ. We are up in pre-market. Okay. The Qs are up 1.44. It looks like a relief rally. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. I will go into more later, but there are a few things you can trust, and that may be my paid newsletter. And honest to God, this was just when anybody on the internet posts a stock, it doesn't matter. They don't know for sure that it's going to go up. If they do, it's called insider information. But they don't know for sure. You're just making your best guess. So for the paid newsletter subscribers, I sometimes make very good guesses. And this week on Monday, I posted the stock I like this week, and a strategy is DocuSign. Okay, there were a couple of reasons why. We'll pull up Docu. It is up. They posted great earnings yesterday. I mean, you can see right here, rises as investors look past. They posted a weak 2026 outlook, and yet they're up 10 to 14% in pre-market. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this one real quick for everyone. Now that the earnings are done, is this one a buy? I went over yesterday, even posted in the free newsletter yesterday. Look at the two comparing ones. Michael Wiggins had an analysis on it. There were other ones. But the strategy that I like is the 4-hour algorithm. And so if you take a look just to the left of my head, okay, you'll see performance chart right there, right where my cursor is, right down here. And when you see these, this Trendspider page, okay, the charts, look at that performance chart, because this will tell you the 4-hour algorithm, okay? And you take emotions out of it. 4-hour algorithm makes you 82% versus buy and hold makes you 16% in this name. Now down here right under my head, which you can't see, but if you have Trendspider, you can follow along, because this is just in the strategy tester. Right here, the strategy tester right there. Look, it's got 24 positions over 24 months. And again, that's where you make 82%. And you can see it does get you out along on the way up. Sometimes it gets you out too late. It's not perfect. There is no perfect strategy for every stock. This is just my strategy that works for me. And when I look at a 4-hour chart, I can kind of tell where it's going. So let's look at what I saw in DocuSign, because I use these tools. Again, the tools that I show you, I use. So what did I post? Well, I posted here. There is a DocuSign earnings, Q4. Let's see all news. It was upgraded by JP Morgan, upgraded at JP Morgan right there Monday on potential improvement in business. That's a good sign. When an analyst who knows more about the business than anybody who's on the internet, unless they're an employee at DocuSign, JP Morgan upgraded it. Okay. The other thing I noticed was when you look at the quant, it recently went to a strong buy. And you can see down here on December 2nd, it went to a strong buy. And you can see the grades on this change, and it moved to a buy once the valuation started to get tough up in the 80s, and we were trading in the 70s. Trading in the 70s. And when you look at Wall Street, what do they think that it's worth? $95. Okay? The 4-hour algorithm, as of Monday, had it as a buy. And I knew earnings were coming up. It got you out, got you right back in, and then it got you out yesterday. And this was around 78, 79. Today in pre-market, it's trading at $82. Okay? So maybe you don't make the 10%. Maybe you didn't buy it yesterday. There was real no confirmation, so I didn't take the trade. I personally love their software. Okay, this is another situation where I closed on a real estate deal. A few days ago, I had to use DocuSign. It is super easy. So what are the risks? Well, the risks are I put it into AI. There are competitive products. It's easy. It's almost like Zoom. It's a verb. Okay, it's gotten expensive. We just looked at some of the valuation. The valuation has gotten expensive. It's trading at a 20 forward times earnings. Okay, but the PEG ratio, the growth, is where it's good. And the growth had recently improved. That you're growing at 7% revenue growth year over year. That's recently improved. And so there were risks. So don't think that I've got any special sauce. There is nothing special in here. That's 100% of how I went about this. And yeah, I got lucky and I called it. Now, if I were actually, you can see right here, the trade at $82, that's where I bought $100 of it. It just came back up there. Do I expect this particular rally to hold? I don't. I mean, that pop right there, I expect us to see it sell off. And the reason is because I just don't think that this one is going to get above its 200-day. So your top, your intraday high, if we do see a nice rally in this one, it's probably 96. That 200-day is going to provide resistance. But I saw in the weekly a nice moving up in the 50-day. But we've rejected off that 200-day. I wouldn't trust it. So again, paid newsletter subscribers, congrats to anybody that took that trade, anybody that actually did it. If you were watching the charts, you could have bought in the 70s, and now you can sell in the 80s. Take a little victory lap right there. Well, let's talk about Trump did it again, by the way, and we're just going to look at VOO because I want to show you VOO and I want to show you a 5-minute chart of VOO. What we saw yesterday was exactly what we knew. You had a nice little rally here in the morning at about 9:55, and then Trump tweeted about tariffs again. This is 100% about tariffs, and mind you, this is completely unnecessary. And the news coming out of the White House is that he's unhinged with anybody, throwing a tariff against it. It's a tariff war. And so what happens when a rally happens is Trump tweets and we get taken back down. This is the market that you're in. This is 2018 all over again. It's managing by chaos. And the Treasury Secretary said, hey, you've enjoyed stock market gains, so maybe you're not going to get them. And they don't care if we fall into a recession. Okay, that's part of what they want. They want lower rates, and they are fighting the Fed. Okay, don't fight the Fed. They are fighting the Fed. But did we get just too greedy? I mean, did we get just too greedy? This is it. This is the, let me see. Oh, we have to pay homage to the GOAT, by the way, first of all. The homage to the GOAT. Oh, yeah, this is the thing. Buffett sold his SPY and VOO. Okay. You're down 10% since they sold that. That's pretty damn good. I mean, timing the market, you can't do it, but maybe that might have been a sign. It wasn't big positions, but again, he sold out of it. So kudos to him. And then you've got some of the president's allies, Elon Musk. This is what's funny. Tesla warns the U.S. trade rep about the harmful impact of tariffs. So you've got even Elon. Is this the start of, let's be honest, there is going to be a breakup and it's going to be ugly between Elon and Trump. It's just going to happen. The love fest that you're seeing right now, there was a love fest in 2016 until Trump called climate change a total hoax and pulled out of the Paris Agreement. And then Elon said Trump's just a joke and he left his CEO council. So there will be a blow up at some point. Tesla warns the U.S. And this was what's funny. Tesla sent this letter unsigned. But again, they're warning the U.S. rep about harmful impact of tariffs. Tariffs aren't great. Even Ronald Reagan, who used tariffs, said they're great temporarily, but not long term. Trump is saying, don't test me. I'm going to drive us off a cliff. So you can't trust a rally right now. You can't. What would I be looking for in any type of rally? I would be looking at a daily chart and I would be looking at confirmation. And what do I consider confirmation? You can talk all you want, but this green line right here in my Trendspider setup, that's a 9-day EMA. Learn charts. Learn charts. A 9-day EMA. I want to see it trading above that. I don't care if I miss the first 10% of this rally. Okay, we are in the fastest drawdown of the S&P in history. I think the fastest 10%. It's been like 15 days or something. It is huge. Okay, I want to see confirmation before I say, okay, I'm going balls deep back in. Because I have no doubt in my mind that we are going back to all-time highs. I just don't know when. Is this going to take a year? Is it going to take 2 years? My assumption is that Trump, again, it's tariffs. So he's got it within his power to move this market. So while the U.S. is losing, by the way, Asia's soaring. Let's go and look at some market data. Let's go and look at, some countries. Global equities, some of the countries. We can look at the 1 month here. 1 month. China's up 7%. Germany's up 3%. France is up 1%. The UK's up 1%. Japan, dead even. Brazil is down 2%. And the US is down 10%. 10%. Year to date, 19% for China. 18% for Germany. 12% for France. 9% for the UK. Japan up 3%. Brazil is up 10%. Okay, over 1 month, Brazil has pulled back, but they're still up year to date 10%, and the US is down 6%. So the rest of the world is enjoying the tariff war. The US is the one losing. And I don't disagree. By the way, this isn't political. I don't disagree with the actual what Trump's trying to do. I disagree with the tactic. And the tactic is, Jim Cramer put it really well last night. Trump could be tweeting positive things about great earnings. Dollar General reported great earnings. Is rather than saying, hey, Dollar General, great job in cutting our food cost. He's out there tweeting about tariffs. He could be doing positive things. So I just disagree with that. Now, talking about, are we getting greedy? Look at this. This is Ben. Ben's great to follow, by the way. He's on the Animal Spirits podcast with Michael Batnick. Coming into 2025, the S&P has only 2 down years in the past 15. Okay, 2 down years. That's 2018 during Trump, and it's 2022 when rising interest rate. 2018 minus 4.2%. That was Trump's tariff war. So do not think that this won't go on for a long time and that he's not digging in his heels and that you can't see further downside. Again, understand candlesticks, understand charts. Take time this weekend. If you don't know charts, just go and Google candlesticks. Go and read about them. Go and look at a chart. Get a charting program. You don't have to get Trendspider. Go and get Thinkorswim. Go and get Webull. Go and get Robinhood. Okay? Go to my link tree. If you want the 4-hour algorithm, which again helps keep emotions out of this, look at VOO. Okay, VOO, it got you out here with a 1.5% gain back on February 24th. It hasn't gotten you back in. I've been adding on the way back in because I'm long-term focused, but I'm not going balls deep. We're talking hundreds of dollars. We're not talking thousands of dollars. And usually when I'm putting buys into VOO, I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars. So again, make sure you understand candles. And if you want this 4-hour algorithm, go over to Linktree and sign up. You can get a great two-week trial for $10. And by the way, here's the killer portion of this. For $10, you can get a one-on-one training with a Trendspider expert. Okay? So during the 2 weeks, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't understand any of this stuff. You want to understand how to use the software. You get a one-on-one Zoom meeting with a Trendspider expert. They go over what are your goals. They go over what do you understand. They go over what do you want to look at. And yes, most of the guys over there know me. So you can say, well, I'm looking at Gary's 4-hour algorithm. They'll tell you, well, Gary only gives it to people who sign up for the yearly plan. Because again, the 2-week trial is for you to try it. So this weekend, go over to Linktree, sign up for a 2-week trial of Trendspider. If you're afraid that what you're losing and we have further downside, learn charts. Take emotions out of this because VOO clearly on February 24th, it got you out. It got you out. So if you're nervous, that's what the 4-hour algorithm will do. And yes, yesterday's afternoon candle was great. And this morning's candle may be good. Maybe we go down. But again, the question is, have we been spoiled? And I think that's what the administration is trying to tell you, is that, hey, there's going to be short-term pain. So any rally that you see in this market should not be sustained. And so he's going to take it down with a tweet. And I have no doubt in my mind that's exactly what's happening. Now, the biggest movers of the day. Biggest movers, DocuSign, huge. Ulta Beauty, again, a mover. I was going over our watch list yesterday. Peloton's in the watch list, and it's up 6% just on an upgrade. Let's look at how Peloton. I mean, this is one of the pandemic benefits, and it got you in here at $6.11 yesterday, and it's up 7%. It's at $6.54. Can you trust this one? Well, look down here. The performance chart loses you 28%. And you may say, well, that's shitty. Buying and holding loses you 58%. Okay, so the 4-hour algorithm, if you're on the Peloton, you're like, well, I want to trade this because I use this bike. At least I saved you half of what you'd lose if you bought and held. It's still not a good stock. It's still expensive. But you can see that 50-day starting to turn. The Bollinger Bands are cinching up. The RSI's at 41. We just had an upgrade. Maybe it's time to get in. I don't know. I don't like it. Again, I don't have it. One of the my buddy Steve, who did the 4-hour algorithm with me, he sent me this one. And it's one bad day. Look at that. One bad day is not a bad life. So understand where we're at. And if you go to VOO, you know, a lot of people say, when in doubt, zoom out. We'll go to a weekly. Does that look like a horrible, horrible pullback? No. And you can even go to QQQ. You know, there's a lot of people who just trade on trend lines. And you can go to a monthly of QQQ and take a look. That was COVID. I mean, that's a huge. This was when we started raising interest rates. It doesn't even look like we've started the downturn. So I don't think that the administration is thinking about this stuff. But again, one bad day does not make a bad life. So understand this is part of what we signed up for with putting Trump in office. It's what he did in 2018. Now, I want to give you a little story yesterday. Well, let's go over. I want to show you a little stock that I found. One that is in the in one of the watch lists that I have is QTUM, Defiance Quantum, and I found this one yesterday here on. I had a call with Trendspider, and myself and Nader were going over some stuff, and I said, this is interesting. Quantum stocks, because I don't want to hold individual quantum stocks. I want to hold something like an ETF. Now, this is in the watch list, and you can see momentum A+, expenses B-. I think it's got a 0.4% expense rate. You can see dividends B, does have a dividend 0.5, 57 cents. Risk, it's a D because it's highly risky. Liquidity, it's an A-. They have $1.07 billion assets under management. So it's not bad. You go over to the holdings. It's got Alibaba. It's got D-Wave. It's got Orange. It's got Rigetti. It's got Nokia. It's got Palantir. It's got NEC. It's got Infineon. It's got RTX. It's not a bad one. Then I went over to Trendspider, and Nader and I were talking, is there a strategy that works? Well, this one over 24 months makes you 96%. Okay, this has a nice little run from 64 up to 82. Is it dead? Well, take a look at a weekly. We're going to start out a weekly. It's still extended, but it's turned over. Your Bollinger Bands, I don't think have cinched up. I would be looking between 68 and 75 to add this because I think the 50-day might provide you some support. This week, the candle is red. It opened at 76. The low was 73. Right now, you're trading at 75. I don't think that there's much space here. But again, this is a nice ETF where the 4-hour algorithm may provide you some support. You win 59% of the time. There's 18 positions, and it just got you in at 75. Maybe the 200-day pushes this one back up. Because right now on a 4-hour, your MACD is super low. Your RSI is at 40. Maybe it's a nice time to buy this one. Again, if you're into quantum stocks. You talk about nice time to buy. Meta was under 500, under $600. Is it time to buy? I'm waiting for the 4-hour algorithm. That's what I'm waiting for. But Meta, under $600, 18% year-over-year growth? Are you kidding? That's not expensive. Up at $700, it was expensive. It closed at $590. You're at 603 in pre-market. Just buy it. One of the other Mag 7 that I think is just screaming buy is Amazon. 30% growth under $200. Get it. For me, screaming buy. Algorithm said buy at $199. I bought another small position. I own way too much of this one. But my average purchase price is somewhere in the 40s, I think. Buy and hold. When you have opportunities like this, get it. It has broken down, but I don't think Amazon is losing. I think Amazon's winning. They're tied to the consumer. Again, if the consumer starts to go weak and we go into a recession, you will come down. And maybe you come down to 152. I'll buy more. I'll just buy more. These guys print money. So I like that one. Now, Apple is rumored to be starting a real-time enabled live translation with conversations with your AirPods in. So you go over to Japan. I don't speak Japan. My girlfriend speaks Japan. Her son speaks, Japanese. I don't speak it, but I can throw in my AirPods. And Siri's going to actually start translating live. That's great. Here's the story I have for you. I was sitting there yesterday. I was next to a wood chipper. And I'm on the phone with my friend who I'm doing a real estate deal with. I'm on the phone and I'm talking about real shit, okay? Next to a freaking wood chipper. I couldn't hear him. I just continued on. I get away from the wood chipper and I said, hey, did that conversation make sense to you? I don't know if you could hear me. I was just kind of talking. You know what he told me? Didn't hear the wood chipper whatsoever, only heard my voice. So Apple, to me, what's the narrative on Apple right now? The narrative on Apple is that they can't innovate. It's that the AI is delayed. So what I want to show you is last year at this time. Because last year's time, we had this bump up here to 200 and it rejected twice. It rejected here in July 2023 and it rejected here in December 2023. And then it's rejected here January 15th. January 22nd, and then it came back down. The narrative was Apple has missed AI. Okay, and then in April, it turned around. And it turned around because there were rumors about WWDC and AI. A 41% rally. Okay, what's the news today? It's that Apple has missed AI. It's that they're delaying AI. It's that they put a whole bunch of new features into Apple Intelligence last year that won't be coming anytime soon. I trust in Tim Cook. I trust in that. Okay? I trust in that. I'm not selling at $209. Yeah, at $211 where it's trading right now. I'm not buying more. Just full disclosure, I have a complete position. It is expensive. It is an expensive stock. And for, again, you look at growth, they're growing revenue growth 2% year over year. That's not good. Forward revenue growth 4%, EBITDA growth 7%. It's not great. But at some point, people start upgrading their iPhone. At some point, Apple realizes that a 1 megapixel improvement in the camera is not what people want. And they want things to be easy. And Apple is one that does things easy. And right now, they are behind. But I have trust in the company. So am I selling it? No. Am I buying it? If I didn't have a position, I would be starting to buy this one. You may get several pops back to 260 during this time, but in my mind, it's just oversold. They have not lost their edge. Again, real translation from AirPods, it's kind of big to me. What was up yesterday? Apple Oven was up yesterday. This is a stock that has good fundamentals. It just got an algorithm buy-in. I like this one. Again, 272. Are we looking at an update on this one? It's at 283. It's up 4%. Apple Oven has good fundamentals. The short interest is still 4%, but it's still got good fundamentals. Okay, the PEG ratio, the growth in this is phenomenal. And maybe you don't like Apple Oven. Maybe you like their competitor, Unity Software. Okay, this one chart is all over the place. But Apple Oven, to me, I want to add more as we look to this one. But if I look at a weekly on this one, it's still a little bit extended. But the Bollinger Bands are cinching up. Now, this could mean that we come back down to this 200-day at $80. I don't think so. But again, you don't know. One that I've been really right on, that in my mind is screaming buy, is Snowflake. And the reason Snowflake is a screaming buy, I pointed out this range here all the way since 2022. It gets up to 200, and then it goes down to about 130. You're trading at 149. 149. This has been a great range. And I don't know that it's super expensive, but you get pops. So you don't go, say you have $20 to invest. Put $1 into Snowflake, okay, this week. And then over the next 20 weeks, you put $1 in. When it gets up towards 200 and you're feeling uncomfortable, you sell. You sell because it will go back to 200. Okay, I like that one. I like it a lot. So let's look at this. The S&P is now down multiple times. The multiple of the S&P is down from 22 to 20, and yet earnings number haven't been taken down. If the consumer is hurt and these numbers start coming down and Trump continues to be negative, expect more downside. Strategies matter. Okay, strategies matter. Here's one. Let's see if we can build this. The backtest by SPY when the RSI hits 30 and holds for 21 days. What I want you to do when you go into Trendspider, you just go down here. You hit new strategy, okay? There is a add human language. So we're going to say we're going to say the entry condition is for when RSI is below 30. Apply. Okay? And we're going to say exit condition We're going to say add an exit condition script. We'll add human language. Hold for 21 days. Apply, let's say. Oh, I guess he can't. Exit 21 days later. Let's see if that works. Human condition. I have to look it up. There we go. Okay. 21 days. So there we go. Let's run this on SPY. We'll run this on SPY. Let's look. What's it telling me? No entries found over 5.7 years. Oh, that's a weekly. I'm sorry. That's a weekly. We got to change this to daily. We're going to change that to daily. Boom. 14 months. Let's go and we're going to do that over the last Oh, okay. Let's change this condition. RSI. Let's see. We're going to get rid of that and we're going to say add human language. RSI closes below 30. Apply. Let's see. Let's see if this works. RSI below 30. Let's see. It's not working. This is the human language thing of Trendspider where you can do it. Yeah, there we go. It doesn't. Yeah, I've got to work on this. So much for live stuff, but the 4-hour algorithm actually does work on this, so we can look at that. But again, it's as simple as that. And if you need any help, this is why I go to Trendspider, is you use the contact us button down here and you can say, I'm trying to set this up. You can literally point to them. You can say, hey, I just saw this tweet. How do I build this? They'll build it for you and then send it to you. Or if you have a trial, you can put that in as, hey, I want to build this strategy. So it's as easy as that. Again, I don't know why it's not doing it for me. It's just one of those things. I'm not great at Trendspider. Again, I usually have to sit down and work at it. And that's the key. Part of the reason I don't like these 2-week trials, by the way, and I told Trendspider, I fucking hate it. But part of the reason I don't like it is because it takes me a long time to learn this stuff. And it took me 8 to 12 months to actually understand Trendspider and understand the power of the tool. So I don't like these 2-week trials, but I agreed to it. It is what it is. But again, this strategy, the last 5 years, 75% win rate. And all you do is enter when the RSI hits 30 and holds for 21-day candles, approximately 1 month. 75% win rate, 3.45% average return, 2.69 risk ratio return. Simple as that. I do think that buy and hold in that one actually does better. But again, strategies matter. Now, Morgan Stanley's top quality stock list for the long term. You got Amazon, you got Apple, you got Atlassian, you got Citigroup, you got Coca-Cola, you got Eli Lilly, you've got Meta, you've got Microsoft, you got Shopify, you got Train, you got TransUnion, Visa, and Walmart. There's 30 stocks that they recommend, 30 for 2027. That's 2 years from now. A collective of best long-term stock ideas on sustainability, quality, and opportunity to widen their competitive advantage. This is a great article. Find the stocks that you like. Okay, just find them. And maybe we could look at, yesterday's top 10 losers. One that I was just looking at, LYV, Live Nation. Josh Brown bought this up. This is one of his favorite stocks. I'm not buying it right now. I want to see when the 4-hour algorithm gets me in. Why? Look at the freaking performance. Over the last 24 months, it makes you 143% versus 56% buy and hold. That one I like. It wins 52% of the time. So 21 positions, it wins 11 times. It loses 10 times, but your average loss is only 1.95%. Again, cutting your losers, and this one cuts it out. You can see this nice 37% gain. You can see this nice 9% gain right there. You could have gotten out when it lost confirmation. Again, take emotions out of the trade. This is what you do. So maybe you want to look at these losers and then look at, will they become winners? Builder's Resource, I've owned that one in the past. Airbnb, I just booked an Airbnb for Denver. So again, there are opportunities out there. One that I want to look at right now, GBT versus gold. What's the real risk? This is a good article. Okay, Brett Ashcroft brings it in. Buyer analyst ratings at the time, he likes GLD. Well, let's take a look at it. I mean, we'll just go over here and we're going to do GLD and we're going to select symbols. We're going to get rid of the S&P 500. Let's just put an IBIT because some people may be upset that IBIT is down, and IBIT is down. But my time frame is not just 1 year. Gold is up 36% over 1 year. IBIT is up 8%. It'll catch back up to gold. It will. In my mind, I have no problem with that. We can get rid of IBIT. Let's get the select symbols. We'll get rid of IBIT and we'll put in BTC. This is just Bitcoin because no, I don't want the grayscale one. BTC, BTC versus USD. That's what we want. Okay. Look at Bitcoin versus over 3 years. Bitcoin's winning. So does it have more to come down? Maybe. And maybe IBIT comes down even more. But I'm dollar cost averaging on IBIT. And you want to know how I'm doing it? I'm just buying it when the 4-hour algorithm tells me to get in. And right now it has me out. Did I buy at 51? You bet I bought at 51. We're at 45. I will buy on the way down. This is a new ETF. So even on the weekly, we just got our 50-day right here at 43. We don't have a 200-day. And the MACD is still a little bit stretched. So for me, GLD has been a good one for 1 year. Okay, 1 year GLD is outperforming Bitcoin. 6 months, Bitcoin is outperforming gold. So for me, it's Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin. My suggestion for everybody that asks me about this is 1% of your portfolio should be into Bitcoin. If it dips down to 0.5%, no big deal. No big deal. But today, if you're deciding, say you have $1 million, okay? 1% should be in Bitcoin because you lost 1% yesterday in your total portfolio if you just had VOO. So if that hurt, gold and Bitcoin are not going to zero. Maybe split it up. Do 0.5% in gold, 0.5% in Bitcoin. It's all about your own risk tolerance. So that's the show for today, 38 minutes. I will talk to you guys on Monday. I hope we end up today. Right now in pre-market, we are looking at QQQ up 1.3. That's down from where it was. I mean, if we just look at a 5-minute, I guess it's up. Yeah, we've been steadily climbing, but it's just kind of, I started the show at about 8:30 or so, and it's down since then. So I don't know if we're going to sell into the open. I don't know what's going to happen. I am literally just sitting here waiting for stuff because, again, a tweet can take us down. And if you don't think a tweet's coming out, you just haven't read the tea leaves in the news. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Okay, see you. Bye. No. Because Nathaniel, I own PPC. I own through Alpha Picks. That's it. But it's been a good one. That's been a solid. Look at that during this downturn. I mean, that just started turning on March 11th down there. But I didn't even know they had a dividend. What happened with PPC dividend? Declare $6.30. Wow. Whoo-fee. That's huge. I wonder why they're giving that out. I mean, that's what always scares me about dividends is why are they paying that big dividend? Double on cheaper chicken feed. That's an alpha pick. That's huge. Wow. DocuSign, let's see. Is it falling? Pre-market, yeah, it's falling. I mean, it can't hold it. Even good stuff just can't hold it. Tesla is just one of those you're either in it for the long haul, you trade it on the 4-hour algorithm, or you find a strategy that works. But I've been wrong about Tesla. You know, I should have bought and held in 2018. I should have bought and held from 200 to 400. I sold at 250. Looks great now. You know, the 250 sale. But I haven't bought full back in. So, you know. Cook. What is Cook? Traeger. Grills. I think that's Grills, isn't it? Why do they say it's performing badly? The company has 6-month price performance at minus 46%. Wow. Wow. Wall Street 10 analysts, they think it's $3, 71% upside. But, I mean, ratings history. That's not in my wheel. I don't even own a grill, Chris, to be honest with you. Kava and toast. I like toast. Nathaniel Patience. I think I posted it on my Twitter yesterday, by the way. I think I posted it. Let's see. I think that's where I posted it. I was up at like 2 a.m. tweeting. So, yeah. The best investors in the world are really good at doing nothing for long periods of time. So, if you've got a bunch of cash, you can dollar cost average your way in. You could look at that. Or do nothing. I mean, that's literally what I'm doing. I'm not doing a lot. I think this week, maybe 1 trade, 2 trades. So we got an alpha pick coming up on Monday. So I'll buy that. But there's literally not much that I'm doing. I mean, I don't mean for you to follow me because I'm not a super active trader. I do the damn podcast, and that's what takes up my time. Like yesterday, I wanted to buy DocuSign yesterday. I had to close on this freaking real estate deal. So, and the real estate deal, by the way, the only reason I'm doing that, I'm not usually a real estate investor, is because I just don't think that the market over the next year is going to do as well as 15% for me. So I took, a portion of my money and I put it into real estate that's going to guarantee me 15% on short-term loans. It's not, I'm not doing a real estate deal. It's a, long story short, it's short-term lending to house flippers. So. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Shout out to anybody that I need to, let's see. Reduce background noise. Yeah. I think it sounds okay. Gains. So maybe you're not going to get them. And they don't care if we fall in. There we go. Ooh. Let's say, we're gonna and put this in and green screen. Let me just export this real quick. 314 pod. And maybe I'll get the AI paid newsletter done. Yeah, if you have their grill, Chris, I mean let's see how this performs. Chris, you have Trendspider. What strategy Strategy on this one doesn't work. The 4 hour. Let's see if the 65 minute has a better chance. No. No. Let's see if maybe an 821 has a good opportunity. Nope. I mean, the problem is with a downward stock, finding a strategy that works is tough. That one does better than buy and hold by a large portion. QQQ super trend. Let's see if this one works. No. The problem is finding a Weinstein stage 1. Let's see if this works. Positions 48 over the last 13 months. No. No. Let's see if there's a snowflake strategy that I have. Range trader. Wow. Wow, Chris. There's a snowflake range trader. So it looks like 30-minute candles, price close greater than the range, and then is within 30 range, 50 range. Oh, that's why it trades both ways. This one trades short and long. That's why it does it. But look at that strategy on Cook. It makes you 110% versus losing 39%, but it enters short. So that's why it's winning, because it enters short. So, Snow Weinstein, this one probably. I mean, the problem is with a losing stock, you can't always win. I mean, this one has a nice 5% gain, 2%, 1%, but it's overall over the 3 years, it just loses you money. But CENX. I think, well, let's see. Again, I go to my go-to, which is the 4 hour. Well, it makes it 47% versus 56. Invitation Homes is one. INVH. This is an interesting one because the algorithm makes you 11%, but you really want this for the dividend. And so that's what's interesting about this one is it's nicely rebounding. Golden cross with the MAC algorithm getting you out. And the weekly, it's well beaten down, but you really want this for the dividend. INVH. It's a hold in the quant, and you're paying for, again, these are single family homes in highly desirable neighborhoods, and the yield is 3.53%. It's got a good history of it. It's beaten down from its highs of September. Real estate just hasn't done well. And REITs, top single family homes, UMH is the top one. This has a yield of 4.86. So maybe this one's better. Let's see how UMH trades. No, it doesn't trade well in the 4 hour. So, but there's opportunities in the market. I mean, that's the thing is there's opportunities in the market if you want to take them. For me, I don't know that there's a whole hell of a lot of, opportunities that I want to take. Do I want to buy more Apple? I've got, tens of thousands of shares. I don't think I need it. Amazon, same kind of thing. Bank of America, under 40, give it to me. Give it to me. Berkshire, If this one dips under 500 again, get it. Cleveland Cliffs, I think this one is a great story. But again, pre-COVID, this was an $8 stock. Costco at $8.94. This will be back at $1,000 at some point. I mean, it will, because they trade not on consumer weakness. They trade on a membership. But it's expensive. Dell at $94, $95. It just got you in. God, I love that name. And you've got a huge gap here from 120 to 140. But are people spending on AI? Disney, I think it's $120 stock. Again, at some point. But the consumer's weak. Then you got Google. I think Google at 166, 167. I think it's screaming buy. Goldman Sachs at 532. God, this was a $700 stock just a month ago. iBit with Bitcoin. Coca-Cola at 68 just came off of 70. Okay, at some point, this one pulls back to 60. Eli Lilly at 806. It's a $1,000 stock. Again, the earnings are there. Meta at 602. Get it under $600. Wait for a year. Tell me you're upset. MPLX, this is just about the dividend. At $53, I can't imagine this goes up, but energy's got a bid. Microsoft at 382. It's expensive, but again, the 4-hour algorithm makes you 45%. Buying and holding makes you 46%. And you look at a weekly on this one, and it's beaten down. It's at the bottom of this range, and it's beaten down. I don't think that's a bad one when shit turned around. Netflix, nothing has changed in the story of Netflix. This is a $1,000 stock. Nothing has changed in the story of Netflix. Nobody's disconnecting their Netflix. Okay, you got the golf stuff on there now, which I haven't watched. Nvidia at 118, screaming buy. But again, is Blackwell gonna pause? Or are the hyperscalers pausing their buy? PanW, cybersecurity, nobody's pulling that out. Then you got Pepsi. Pepsi's, I thought it was dead at 120. I'm sorry, at 144. It's at 147. Maybe it's got a little bid. The 50-day started to turn around. But, again, are you getting this nice little pop? The death cross just happened. I think that anything between 120 and 160, I think you're fine. It's Pepsi. Palantir, this one's going to flutter around 80 until you get some type of pop there. Maybe with Doge, they say, hey, we're using Palantir software. Qualcomm, great chip company. Apple's doing their own chips. QQQ is what it is. Roblox, they just got a downgrade yesterday. It's expensive, but trade it. I said this 44 is where you want to buy. Maybe it gets back down there. At 44, you better bet that I'm going to trade that one on this 4-hour algorithm. Because the 4-hour algorithm, it wins 50% of the time, wins 11 out of 22 times, okay? Makes you 45% versus 33%. Buy and hold. Is it overvalued? Absolutely. Shopify, I think it's a $120 stock. It's $120. It's $93 right now. You take a look at a weekly on this one, and have we flipped that 200-day from resistance to support? You just had the golden cross on this one. If you get back down to $70 or to $80, 70 to 80, get it. Get it. So there's a lot of opportunities in here. And Simon Property Group, this is malls. If the consumer's weak, this one's going to get shit. I mean, that's essentially what it is. But you reset it right on Simon Property Group right down there. During market PSIX, let's see. I don't know. It's not listed on Trendspider as earnings. Let's see. Let's go to Earnings Hub. They're so small, they may just be releasing something. I don't know. It says May 9th. It's 2016. I mean, it's such a small company. Go and go. Put it into Perplexity, Nathan. I just, honest to God, this one confuses the hell out of me sometimes because it's just such a small company. $661 million. I don't know when their earnings actually are, but it's still got, the quant still thinks that it's super, super strong. I mean, you got 11% down on revenue growth. That's a little hard for me to take, just top line growth down 11%, but everything else is growing incredibly well. The valuation is not extended. So, but you've seen this nice pullback. It's between $2 and $45 for a 52-week range. How about that for a 52-week range? But it's trading 37 shares. I mean, I don't know if that's actually true, but let's see how many have floated. 22 million. Oh, 5 million floated. So filling that's going to be, again, if you get a big downturn or something like that, filling is going to be tough, but it's a great stock to trade. Okay, I am out of here. Market's about to open. My stuff is done. I will talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye. Show exit.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock day trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock day trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock day trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock day trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock day trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock day trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock day trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. in fear.